Hello, and thank you for your time today. The goal of today's training session is to bring to life the many advertising sales insights that are available to you through your partnership with Claritas. These insights will help you to understand your advertisers' core customers, find them in their market, and activate them by creating the link between their customers and your reader. The goal of the analysis is to position you as a trusted advisor and either win over new business or maintain existing relationships with clients. We also want to ensure that you feel comfortable and confident speaking to the insights that are available to you via your research teams. The desired outcome is that you're able to maximize the data provided by your research teams to fuel your pitch and increase ROI. To begin our session today, we will review the Claritas framework, which we use to guide the insights and tell your story. For clarity, what we strive to help you do is to understand, find, and activate your advertisers' customers. We'll first look at Understand, which focuses on identifying your advertisers' core customers and painting a clear picture of them in terms of their life stage group, demographics, and behaviors such as how they spend their leisure time or where they eat and shop. The next element of our framework is Find. In this portion of the framework, we're going to be finding our advertisers' core customers in two different ways. First, finding them geographically. Where are they located on the ground and in your market? By zip code. Find them also includes elements of locating them in terms of media channels they consume or products that they're most likely to engage in. Last but not least, we have our Activate portion of our framework. Activate takes into consideration what we've learned from Understand and Find portions to come up with an appropriate messaging that will resonate with your advertisers' customers. That could entail making a recommendation of which product would be the best fit for their advertisement, or using the analysis to inform them of copy and creative to position in their ads in the best light possible. I'd like to start with speaking to the benefits of ad sales, which you should be very familiar with coming from the sales team. Our goal here is to help you become a trusted advisor. We want you to leverage the ad sales insights we're about to review to share valuable information with your advertisers and position yourself as a consultant. The insights here are organized so that the focus is on your advertisers first, which allows you to show up with valuable insights and enables you to speak intelligently to their customer base. Then, once you've established your credibility and identified their core customers, you can link their customers back to your products and have client-focused data to back up your pitch. The first part of our ad sales framework is Understand. In the sample analysis we will be walking through today, our backstory is that we're working with a Lexus dealer in the Tulsa, Oklahoma market and attempting to win over their advertising business. For the analysis, we're looking at people who own or lease a Lexus. Our first step here is to identify who the core Tulsa Lexus customers are by life stage group. These Lexus customers fall into our family life and mature years life stage groups. If you look up in the chart on the top right, I want to take a moment to explain the measures that we're referring to here, so when you're presenting to your clients, you feel confident in the data. The outside column is labeled Index. Index is a measure of likelihood. We consider 100 to be the market average, so any index that is above 100 is considered more likely than average to engage in a behavior. An index below 100 would be less likely than average to engage in a behavior. Generally speaking, we say that if there is an index that is greater than 120, that is a strong indicator of a behavior. At the end of the day, 120 is the only index that you really have to keep in mind. So if we look at accumulated wealth, they have an index score of 183. In this case, we could say that they are 83% more likely than average to own or lease a Lexus. The other measure that I want to call out to your attention is the percent composition. You can think of percent composition as a piece of the pie. In this case, the accumulated wealth target makes up 14% of the Lexus customers in the Tulsa market. It is important to note that these measures work best in tandem, meaning we want to make sure that each life stage group has a high index or likelihood to be a customer and makes up a significant portion of the market. That way we can ensure that we have a focused and profitable core customer base. So now that we've identified the top Lexus customer life stage groups, let's learn a little bit more about them. What we have here is a sample of one of our LifeStage storyboards. This is something that your research teams have on hand and can add into your deck so you can speak to your client's core customer base. You can see here that this gives a very clear overview of the accumulated wealth LifeStage group. So it breaks out who they are, what they're interested in, what their IPA looks like, etc. Overall, painting a very clear picture of their core consumer. This example, as we mentioned, is of the family LifeStage group. Next, we have a sample of the mature years LifeStage group. You will see here that the slide has the same formatting, but this time we're talking about our mature audience. So ultimately, when we've identified their core consumers and told them some information about them, what they're like, we've presented them with a value add that perhaps they didn't have previously. The next portion of our analysis is the find portion. In this part of the analysis, we will identify where the Lexis customers are located in any given market. In this specific example, we are looking at the Tulsa DMA broken out by zip code. You will see that the pink and purple zip codes are those that are most likely to contain our Lexis customers. I've also overlaid the Lexis of Tulsa location so that the client can see where their customers are physically located in relation to their brick and mortar location. You also see that we've called out some helpful demographic and expenditure data for those high indexing zip codes. This gives them a visual representation as well as a demographic understanding of where their core customers are located. The final piece of the ad sales framework is the activate portion. The goal of this portion is to take what we've determined are their core customer groups and tie them to our products and tell the story that our readers or subscribers are their customers. We see here the index or likelihood that the Lexis core customers are engaging with our newspaper products. Across the board, the core customers are more likely than average to engage with all the Tulsa paper products. That includes their print edition, their e-edition, and even visiting their website. So not only are we creating the link between their clients' customers and our newspaper products, we're also sharing with them some valuable insights on the best ways to reach their customers. Finally, we want to talk about how they can reach their Tulsa Lexis customers. On the left-hand side of the screen, we see which newspaper sections the Lexis customers are most likely to be reading. This can be helpful for informing ad placement in print and e-editions. We also know that the vast majority of advertising is occurring in the digital ecosystem. In order to address those needs, we have Claritas Digital, which allows you to target the LifeStage groups that we've identified offline in the online space. This is helpful because we already know that the Lexis customers are reading e-editions of the newspaper and are going to the newspaper website. So, we've already spoken about print in terms of placement for the advertising. The last portion here is the copy and creative. In this part, we want to speak to the advertiser's core customer groups and use the information from the understand portion of the analysis to inform the copy and creative of the advertisement and customize it so it resonates with each respective customer group. In this case, from the family life target, we would want our messaging to focus on well-educated professionals that have children. We also have our mature years, and so for that portion, we wanted to make sure that we're tailoring our creative to resonate with empty nesters who enjoy leisure and the finer things in life. This concludes our ad sales analysis, but there's one more portion of this analysis that we'd like to spend a little bit of time on and bring to your attention, a bit of a deeper dive. As we know, your fantastic research teams will be putting these insights together for you. And there's really two basic scenarios that we want to work from. One is good and one is better. So let's start off with the better scenario. If it is possible, you can ask your advertisers for their CRM or customer file. When you are able to acquire their actual customer file, then the research teams can build out custom insights based off their actual data. This will increase the accuracy of the output. A few important notes here. You need to be sure that the client's customer file contains address, city, state, and zip code information, and that it has at least 1,200 records. This will help deliver another layer of granularity to the customer insights. If you're unable to acquire an advertiser's customer file to analyze, your research team can use one of our many behavioral profiles to complete the analysis. So we're able to produce the insights either way. I'd like to thank you for all your time today, and if you have any other follow-up questions, please reach out to your research teams or contact your Claritas representative directly, as seen here on the screen. We would be happy to provide you with any additional information or answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much and hope to hear from you soon.